السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرحبا بكم معنا في الدرس السادس. So welcome guys, we're now on lesson 6 of Medina book 2. Inshallah ta'ala, this dialogue is longer than the first two pages. So inshallah, when I finish reading up to the end of this page, I will go to the next page inshallah ta'ala and continue. So starting from here, as you know, I'll read the dialogue without translating, because the idea is now you guys should be translating the dialogue and understanding it and researching the words that you don't know, inshallah. And as I always say, if you have questions though, if you don't understand what an activity is asking you to do or something, then you can ask me, inshallah ta'ala. If you don't understand words, then contact me and we'll explain. So reading from here, inshallah, starting from here. متى رجعت من المدرسة يا بني؟ رجعت قبل نصف ساعة. أين أختك مريم؟ أرجعت؟ لا أدري، أنا ما رأيتها. ماذا قرأت اليوم؟ قرأت اليوم درسا جديدا في الفقه. أفهمته؟ نعم، فهمته جيدا. أما قرأت القرآن اليوم؟ بلى، قرأت سورة الرحمن وحفظتها. ففرح بي المدرس وقال إنك أحسن طالب في الفصل. ما شاء الله، زادك الله علما يا بني. أغسلت قمصاني يا أمي؟ نعم، غسلتها وكويتها. خذ هذا القميص. هاتي ذاك يا أمي. هاتي ذاك يا أمي، ذاك أجمل من هذا. تدخل مريم. السلام عليكم، كيف حالك يا أمي؟ وكيف حالك يا أخي؟ وعليكم السلام، أهلا يا بنتي. متى خرجت من المدرسة؟ خرجت بعد صلاة الظهر. أين زميلاتك آمنة وفاطمة وسعاد؟ أنا ما رأيتهن بعد الصلاة. يا بنتي، أخوك حفظ سورة الرحمن. أي سورة حفظت أنت؟ أنا حفظت سورة الحديد، وهي أطول من سورة الرحمن. وكذلك حفظت 16 آية من سورة النبأ. ما شاء الله، إنك طالبة مجتهدة. أنا مسرورة بك. أذهبت إلى المكتبة اليوم؟ نعم، ذهبت. ماذا قرأت هناك؟ قرأت مجلة من باكستان اسمها الإسلام. أباللغة العربية هي؟ لا، هي باللغة الإنجليزية. أذهبت إلى المديرة؟ Inshallah ta'ala, we'll go to the next page now and continue this dialogue. So the last page it says أذهبت إلى المديرة. مريم قالت لا، هي ما جاءت اليوم. لما؟ أظن أنها ذهبت إلى مكة. أشربت الشاي؟ لا، ما شربت. للخادمة. قالت للخادمة. She said to the servant, للخادمة, the maid. هاتي الشاي يا ليلى. هاتي قطعة خبز أيضا يا ليلى، أنا جوعاء. جميل. So in this lesson, this dialogue in lesson number 6, there's a number of rules that we're going to discuss بإذن الله تعالى. And as we go through the exercises, I'll show you and highlight the rules accordingly. But as you know, أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية, answer the following questions. Number 2, ضع هذه العلامة صحيح أمام الجملة الصحيحة، وهذه العلامة خطأ أمام الجمل غير الصحيحة. جيد. وهنا أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية. هذه الأسئلة ليست مبنية على الدرس السادس. And this means answer the following questions. No, these questions are not built upon lesson 6. Some of them may be random, okay? Some of them may be random questions. And it says الرابع أنث الفاعل في كل من الجمل الآتية واضبط الضمير بالشكل. So it mentions make the verb, the pronoun on each verb feminine. and show that with the vowel sounds. So basically, now we've started to learn a lot about verbs, okay? So before we saw, for example, ذهبت, okay? أنا ذهبت. أنت, for example, you have ذهبت, okay? But now, when you want to make it feminine, okay, أنث, this is going to say, for example, in this example here, it says أشرب الشاي أشربت الشاي يا حامد. Have you drunk tea, O Hamid? So شربت, the ta has fatha. This is for anta. This shows that it's a masculine person you're talking to. But here it says أنث, make it feminine. How do we make that feminine? أشربتي. So when the ta has kasra, that shows that it is now feminine. So for example, ذهبتي. ذهبتي would mean you went when talking to a female. So now this T, this kasra is what makes it feminine. So you're going to do this for all of these verbal sentences, inshallah ta'ala. So now we're going to find, in this book, we are going to focus a lot on different types of verbs, conjugation of the verbs, how to say who done which verb, okay? So this is something you have to pay attention to, and also focus and memorize on, memorize the pronouns. Memorize the pronouns in Arabic, ad-dama'ir. Yani anta, ana, nahnu, all of them. And inshallah, I'm going to do a separate video to show you the conjugation system of the different pronouns in the Arabic language. In this exercise here, number 5, idbit al-damir, in this one, now basically they're giving you verbal sentences. What they want you to do is observe who's the one who's being addressed and put the correct vowel sound on the end of the verb. And use this to help you. For example, تأمل ما يلي, number 6, it says ذهبت or ذهبت. Okay, that's the letters that are making up this verb. Now they're showing you all the possibilities that you can derive from this verb when it has the ta of the pronoun ta attached to the verb. So it can be ذهبت, that's for here, she went. It could be ذهبت, that's for anta, you went. It could be ذهبتي, that's for anti, you, feminine, went. Or ذهبت, it could be for I went, ana. So this is what you have to observe and remember, and just look, this applies to any single verb you have. So if I had, for example, this verb like this, if I wrote without any vowel sounds, then it's going to be jalasat, it's going to be jalasta, or jalasti, or it's going to be jalastu. That's the possibilities, the 4 possibilities. Okay, so now this applies to any verb, and that's just showing you who has done the verb. You want to emphasize or illustrate who's doing the action by attaching a pronoun. This is how we do it with the verbs. Okay, we apply this same principle to any single verb, inshallah ta'ala. Then it says here, تأمل المثالين الآتيين. Ponder over the following 2 examples. أفهمت الدرس يا علي. أفهمت الدرس يا علي. أفهمت. Now this is you understand. الدرس, the object of the sentence, the مفعول به, what you understood. يا علي, the one who is being addressed. Okay. نعم, which means yes. فهمته, I understood it. So let's break down this, inshallah. Let's break this down, this sentence, okay? So this is important. It says نعم فهمته. So we want to break down the sentence فهمته. Okay? So now we have فهمته. Okay? فهمته. This is made out of 3 words. We have 1, 2, 3. Okay? How does this work now? For example, the first word is the al-fi'lu. Okay, the second, al-fa'ilu. And the third, al-maf'ulu bihi. Okay, so now, what is this? Al-fi'lu, this is the verb, and that is fahima. Okay? Fahima. Tu, this is the fa'il, this is the pronoun, and that represents ana. Okay? And then hu is huwa, and that is the pronoun of the object, and that goes back to ad-darsa. So instead of saying naam, fahimtu ad-darsa, because the dars has already been mentioned, we use the pronoun that represents the gender of the noun that's been mentioned. So fahimtuhu, I understood it. Okay, so this is the breakdown of this. The fi'l is fahima. Who done the verb? Ana. So we say fahimtu. We add the attached pronoun that represents myself, and now the object, attached pronoun of the object, who, represents huwa, i.e. ad-dars. Fahimtuhu, I understood it, like this. And you apply this to every single sentence that follows the same structural pattern. So it says, for example, أما فهمت الدرس يا علي؟ بلى فهمته. أو نعم ما فهمته. Do you remember when I mentioned to you the usage of asking a question in a negative form, in a negative state? When you ask a question in a negative form, then bala means yes, na'am means no. Okay, that's very important to understand. Very important to understand. So, أفهمت الدرس؟ أما فهمت الدرس؟ بلا فهمته. Bala would mean of course I understood it. Na'am would mean yes, I didn't understand it. Affirming the negation. Okay, that's important to understand. So now it says, number 8 here. هاتي أسئلة مناسبة للأجوبة الآتية. Give us suitable questions for the following answers. So نعم شربت, نعم كتبت, بلا رأيته. Now, and you have up to here 7 examples. You need to write a suitable question. Write a suitable question that will give you the answer that has been written for you there. Okay. Then it says, let's just clear this part here. Let's just clear this out the way. It says, اقرأ الأمثلة ثم أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية مستعملا الضمائر. So now it says, read the following examples. Read the following examples and then answer the questions. Read the examples, answer the following questions using the pronouns who, whom, ha. Who, whom, ha, hunna. Okay, so these are the pronouns for third person. Who stands for huwa, whom is them, ha stands for hiya, her, or it. So remember, who and hiya is either he is, she is, or it is based on the gender of the noun. Hunna, them, they, feminine plural. So ara'ayta hamidan, have you seen hamidan? Na'am ra'aytuhu, yes I saw him. أرأيت حامدا وهشاما وعليا نعم رأيتهم. So here you can see رأيتهم, the whom stands for Hamid, وهشام وعلي, all 3 of them. Okay, because now it's plural. So we say whom represents all of them. Okay. أرأيت زينب, have you seen Zainab? نعم رأيتها. So now you're going to follow the same pattern and apply the same principle of attaching the pronoun as an object of the verb, as the maf'ul bihi, to these following questions. All of these questions, inshallah. All of these questions, okay? So that will show, do you understand the principle of attaching a pronoun to show that one, you got the attached pronoun, the one who does the verb, then the attached pronoun of the object of the verb. Continue now, we have exercise number 10. اقرأ المثالين ثم اربط بين بين كل من الجملتين مستعملا أن وعلم أن من أخواتي إن. So it mentions, read the 2 examples and connect between the 2 sentences using anna, knowing that anna is from the sisters of inna, i.e. it makes the mubtada of the sentence mansoob, I take fatha or its equivalent, and the khabar of the sentence marfu', and he takes dhamma or equivalent. So for example, it says huwa maridun huna adhunnu anna huwa, but we say annahu, we attach it as an attached pronoun as we did with inna and la'alla. Maridun, المدرس ما جاء. أظن أن المدرس ما جاء. Okay, so now is how do we use anna? So anna makes the noun after it take fatha. Okay, and the khabar, which is no with the verbal sentence here. Here the khabar is, but with this we will learn more in Medina Book 3 how we say the i'rab of these kinds of sentences that are replacing the khabar. So أظن أن المدرس ما جاء. So now you're going to apply the same rule for the rest of these sentences. أنت طبيب. أظن أنك طبيب. For example, that's the one I'm going to help you with. أظن أنك طبيب. So that's using أن. أن, the difference between أن and إن, they both mean emphasis, okay? However, إن is a sentence starter. As for أن, you do not start sentences with أن. And أن usually follows verbs. The only verb that takes inna after it is qala. You can't say anna, qala anna, say qala inna. And we will learn this later on, inshallah ta'ala, but just so you know there is an exception. But as for anna, it usually follows verbs. Then we have here, iqra ma yali. Read the following. Now we're going to learn something about compound numbers, i.e. 11 to 19. So it says, إحدى عشرة طالبة. إثنتا عشرة طالبة. Okay, what's important to understand now when we discuss in numbers of 11 to 19? Okay, everything, I'm just going to write the first one, إحدى, just so we can see this bigger. إحدى عشرة طالبة. طالبة. Okay, so now here's your number and here's the thing that is being counted. The rule of this, because this is 11 follows the same rule as wahid. 11 and 12, they follow the same rule as 1 and 2, either adjective. So here we have complete gender agreement. Okay, however, the thing to know when you have 11 till 19, everything, all the numbers, everything ends in fatha. Okay, ihda obviously doesn't end in fatha because it's got a weak, it's got the alif maqsura. As for if it was masculine, it will be ahada ashara, then it will be all fatha. Okay, now if we look at this number now, ثلاثة عشرة طالبة. The same root, the same noun there. ثلاثة عشرة طالبة. Okay, let's write it here small anyway, just so we can see it. طالبة. Okay, ثلاثة عشرة طالبة. Now there's an important thing here. Let me do this in a different color. Between these two, we have gender opposition. So طالبة is feminine, ثلاثة is a masculine form of the number. As for between the 10 and the thing you're counting, gender agreement. This is how we count from between 11 to 19, okay? So from 13 onwards, because 11 and 12, there's gender agreement, as we mentioned, just like 1 and 2. As for 13 to 19, this is the rule that applies. The noun is the same gender as the 10. However, the opposite gender of the unit, which is here. Okay, so this is the unit, the 10, the noun. So between the noun and the 10, gender agreement. Between the noun 10 and the unit, there's gender difference, gender opposition. Okay, that's how we count from 13 to 19. As you can see in the examples, if you read the rest of the examples, you can see that rule being applied. So based on that now, what you need to do is go to this exercise here. And it says اقرأ ما يلي ثم اكتبه مع كتابة الأرقام الواردة فيه بالحروف. So it mentioned read the following, and then once you've read the following, you got, like, for example, sana is feminine, so you remember the rule that I just showed you. Once you've read the numbers, now you need to rewrite these sentences, writing this number as a word, no longer as a number. Write it as a word, just like here. Write out the word of the number, and you'll do that for all of these sentences, insha'Allah ta'ala. Here it says اقرأ المثال ثم املأ الفراغ فيما يلي على غراره. Read the following examples and then fill in the gaps of these ones, the gaps or the gaps here, following the same pattern. So it says حامد جوعان جوعان, doesn't take tanween. حامد جوعان, مريم جوعاء, الطلاب جياع, الطالبات جياع. So now this is looking at the adjectives that are on the pattern فعلان. Okay, فعلان, فعلان, غضبان, عطشان, ملآن, شبعان. These are all in the pattern فعلان. Okay, what they want to emphasize here now, the feminine pattern of this is فعلا. We delete the noon. Okay, فعلا. The masculine, the plural pattern for both masculine and feminine is فعال. Okay, فعال. So you're going to apply this now to all of them. عطشان, عطشا, yeah, يعني عطاش, like this, and fill in the gaps just like it is in the first example for عطشان, شبعان, غضبان, and كسلان. But as for كسلان, there is an exception, okay, and that is the plural is not فعال, it's فعالة, فعالة, كسالى. Okay, as you can see, that's why they have given it for you here, because it is an exception to the normal rule that we have just mentioned. Okay, then we have تأمل ما يلي. لما equals لماذا. لما خرجت من الفصل. So لما stands for لماذا, and that means why. لما خرجت من الفصل يعني لماذا خرجت من الفصل. لما خرجت من الفصل, why did you leave the classroom? Okay, then we have أخرجت من الفصل. نعم. Okay, so why did you leave the classroom? Did you leave the classroom? نعم. Okay, لما. When you just ask why and you're stopping without saying anything after it, because the actual action has proceeded, as in here is, you've already said did you leave the classroom, and now you're just going to ask why. You said lima, you add this ha at the end, and this is called ha or sakt. Ha or sakt means the ha that you stop on. For example, when you recite Surah Al-Qari'ah, you don't say Al-Qari'atu, you say Al-Qari'ah, and you stop. That tamabuta becomes ha or sakt. Okay, that is a way that we stop sometimes when there's no sukoon. A nice way of stopping is lima. Why? Okay, so lima meaning same as lima, which is limada, meaning why. Okay, so ponder over these examples, inshallah ta'ala. Then we have هنا اكتب الأسماء الآتية مجرورة ومنصوبة. Okay, now this is a discussion of the grammatical positions of words, the grammatical terms that represent their position in the sentence or their function in the sentence. So marfu' means it's the default state of a word, like nothing's affected it, or there's reasons why a noun may be marfu'. For example, the doer of a verb is always marfu', and the sign of this being marfu' is that it takes dhamma or something equivalent to this. This is going to be this is going to be a major part of our studies from now until the end of Medina Book 3. And in Medina Book 3, it's going to go into details regarding nouns that are al-marfu', and that means nouns that take dhamma. There's a reason why they take dhamma. Al-majrur, nouns that take kasra or something equivalent to this for a particular reason. As we learned in Medina Book 1, fi, ala, min, ila, these are what? Huruf al-jarri, prepositions. They make a noun after al-majrur, I take kasra, or that which is equivalent. Then we have al-mansubu, that is the noun that has been made to take fatha or the equivalent of fatha, which we'll come to learn throughout our studies, inshallah ta'ala, based on a reason. So for example, when we learn the maf'ulan bihi, the object of the verbal sentence is mansub, i.e. it takes fatha or something that represents fatha. Okay, so now they're just showing you, for example, al-marfu' kitabun, like هذا كتاب. المجرور قرأت في كتاب, في كتاب, like the kasra here. Okay, so that's majrur. Now mansub, if I say qara'tu kitaban, I read a book. Now this is the object, so it takes fatha. Okay, so then now you're just gonna write all of these nouns following the same hamidun, hamidin, hamidan, like this for all of these nouns, just to drill the matter of al-marfu' wal-majrur wal-mansub, the different states of grammatical positioning of nouns. Then we learn here تأمل ما يلي هاتي, هاتي, هاتو, هاتينا. This word hati is a fi'l amr. It's a command verb that means a'tini. It means give me. Okay, it doesn't have a past tense, nor does it have a present tense. The only usage of this verb is the fi'l amr. It's only got a command usage. So hati, give me. Hati ya Ahmed, give me that Ahmed, bring it to me. Hati ya Sa'ad, bring me that. Hati, just for feminine, add this ya. Hatu is the plural. You guys give me. Hatina, you guys, feminine, give me. Okay, so that's just the usage of this word hati, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so it says in اكتب الآيات الخمس الأولى من سورة الرحمن وسورة الحديد وسورة النبأ. Here's just a general writing exercise. You can do it if you like, but if you do it, make sure you do it in a notebook that you're going to preserve. Write in the first 5 ayat of each of these chapters of the Quran, and then you have those new words that you learn within this lesson. Okay, so jazakumullah khairan. That's the end of that lesson number 6. And as I always mention, I just want to emphasize, please, if you have any questions, anything you didn't understand, contact me inshallah ta'ala, and we'll try our best to make it clear for you. Jazakumullah khairan. See you next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.